Hi everyone, it's Andy LaCivita, founder of Mile Walk and the Mile Walk Academy and award-winning author of The Hiring Prophecies. And on this week's episode of Tips for Work and Life, we're going to talk about targeting companies in your job search. It always amazes me when people want to change jobs or when they're looking for jobs. They look for jobs. And I understand that might be what you need, but I think you join a company, you don't join a job. And if you join the right company, you're not going to have the job you joined for very long, and I mean that in a good way, that great companies really know how to elevate their employees. Now, whether you are desperately in need of a job, or you just want to, or you need a different job, or you want to look at the market and just perhaps find another organization that'll help you grow more as a professional, I'd like to talk about how do you target companies instead of targeting jobs. And I always believe I'd rather be a player on a Super Bowl team than the ace pitcher on a Major League Baseball team that goes 62 wins and 100 losses. I really think that that's going to make a much better impact on my overall professional development if I work for a company with that kind of pedigree. So I've outlined 8 ways that I think are absolutely fantastic that you can use to target companies. So let's get right into it. Number 1, first thing you do is just think. Just think for a second. You have a good appreciation of what you are doing or what you would like to do. Simply start making a list of the organizations that you know, whether you know them well or whether you've heard of them, just organizations that you're going to investigate further. So just think about who are the companies that you think could use your talent, that you don't have to know, if they have bad reputations, you don't need to put them on the list, but just start making a list. And the second thing that I would do, don't knock Google. A good old-fashioned Google search will yield an awful lot of information. And the first thing is very obvious. You can simply search for best companies to work for in this industry. There's a number of articles and insight and books and things that will come up. The second thing you can do with Google is you can actually set up Google alerts. So as you start to grow that list of organizations that you want to investigate, you can put a Google alert out there. And as funny as this is going to sound, if you don't know how to do that, just Google, how do I set up a Google alert? So that's another great one. Third, let's talk about, I call this sources, but really I'm sure it has many names, but I'm speaking about information that is out there in the market that will give you insight into companies. Now there's different types of companies. There's publicly held companies and there's privately held companies. If a company is publicly held, the Security and Exchange site, they have a system called EDGAR. You can go out there and look for a company's publicly traded document. If the company's publicly traded, it will have documentation like its 10Q and its 10K. These are annual quarterly reports that you can look at to see what the company is doing, who it considers its competition, what new products or services it's targeting, how products and services that it was offering have performed. These are great sources of information. If it's a privately held company, that information is not so readily available, but there are systems or subscriptions or books or magazines. One that comes to mind is Hoover's. That might be a paid subscription, but sometimes these sites offer you free subscriptions for a few weeks or 10 days or something like that. You might want to take advantage of something like that. One of my absolute favorite places to start, though, number 4, the best of lists. Companies, magazines, books, these are published on an annual basis. You've probably heard of them. The Forbes has them. Inc. magazine has them. They have the Inc. 500 and the Inc. 5000. These are the fastest growing privately held companies. Companies that are growing need great people, regardless of whether they're publicly advertising them or not. So those are some ideas. There's the best 100 companies to work for. There are so many of them. And as a matter of fact, in this post, I have included a large list of my favorite lists and all the links to them. So all you need to do is download the available freebie in this post, and you'll have that list. Number 5, books and blogs. Follow authors, follow bloggers. They're constantly commenting on industry trends, companies, who's doing well in the market, where they think the market is going, or where they think that industry is going. So that's a great one. Number 6, LinkedIn. I'm going to give LinkedIn its own category, primarily because within LinkedIn, you can search for companies. You can review their company pages. The best thing about LinkedIn is you can see who's connected or who you're connected to that might work at that organization or who they're connected to. So that network and the relationship that you have with people that work there is also something that I would want to become familiar with, because they might be able to get you in as an employee referral, but at a minimum, they might be able to provide you some information on what's going on inside the company. So I think that that's a great one. And I separated LinkedIn from number 7, which let's talk about the boards. There's job boards. Many of these job boards have descriptions on companies or the types of companies or the industries. Take a look at the different job boards that are most effective for whatever your function is, and look to see their reviews on the companies. How many job openings do they have? Are they growing? These are additional indicators, and not any one of these shouldn't be used by itself in a vacuum, but I think the job boards are a great supplement to a lot of these other, to the other half a dozen that I already mentioned. And then finally, number 8 is company evaluation sites. These are sites like Glassdoor or Vault or Wet Feet or other subscriptions or free sites like this that allow employees and employers to go out and discuss what's happening in the company, and you're allowed to review the company. So there they are. There's 8 of them. Think, Google search, sources, best of sites, best of lists, books and bloggers, LinkedIn, the job boards, and company evaluation sites. I hope this gets you started in the right direction. Until next week, have a great one.